Hey folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to another farm vlog today. We're going to be working in the honeybees here in just a few minutes, but we've got a few errands that we need to run around the farm. We've got to make sure that our goats have plenty of food and water because it's going to be super duper hot today. I think the high is going to be 95 degrees today, which is hot. It's about 9:30 in the morning and we're going to get into our honeybees a little bit early today. Got a good breeze going on and it's probably about 85 degrees right now. So we're going to get in the honeybees, we're going to work the bees, go feed the goats, take care of all the farm animals. We've got a busy day on the farm. Come along with me. We'll walk around, get a few chores done, and we'll get in the honeybees and see if there's any honey we can rob. And for sure, we're going to add some more supers onto the honeybees, and we use medium supers, and we'll talk about all that stuff as we get into it. We're also going to try and install a pollen trap. This will be our second attempt on trying to install a pollen trap underneath the beehive, and it'll be really cool to show you guys how all that works and everything. So my bees are not worked very much and they get testy, very testy. So hopefully this time of day they'll be out and about, they'll be gathering up nectar and we won't have to worry about a bunch of testy bees and we can get the pollen traps in. But it's a lot of work. So let's go sweat, all right? Woo! So folks, looking at what I'm doing is probably frustrating to you. What I have to do is fill up buckets of water to take up to the goats for right now. We don't have a source of water up at the goat pen that we can utilize. So the reason we're doing it this way is because we really don't know where everything's going to be situated here on the farm. We're clearing land, we're cutting timber, we're building ponds, we're just working along the farm here and we don't know exactly where everything's got to go. I'm not putting water up there yet because the goats might be right here in front of the house. Who knows? And our house is even temporary. So we bought this mobile home we live in for $3,500 and gutted it and remodeled it. And we've got a 5-year plan there. Live in the home, save our money, pay our land off, save up some more money and build a house. I will tell you one thing, this well water is delicious. Right there's our New Holland hay bind and we got the tractor all hooked up. Be working on some hay here shortly. Guys, here's something that hasn't really made the vlog yet. This is our corn garden. We started a little corn garden up here away from the house, so that we could have some good old Silver Queen corn. So hopefully that does well, and we've got the deer fence built around it and it seems to be keeping the deer out, thank goodness. Let's get on over here to the goats. Now you can see here we've got a mixture of grass and ragweed and milkweed and all sorts of stuff, and we'll be moving the goats back over here after this gets about waist high and let them chow down. Keep them moved on the pasture here. And they know when I'm here because they start yelling. Hey, goaties. Every day we come up and we give the goats 2 scoops of feed. It doesn't matter where it goes or if it hits the ground or what. They'll eat it, don't you worry. You gotta keep the goats graying just a little bit. They can't just survive on grass and weeds and stuff like that. It's a good idea to keep them grained. Now it takes me about 30 minutes a week just to keep the goats watered. That's about 2 hours a month. We gotta figure out a better way. There's a creek right down here, but we don't have pastures fenced yet, and we're working on that. So hopefully sometime in the next couple of months, we'll start getting some fences up. That way the goats can go on down to the creek and they can roam freely. Folks, before we start working in the honeybee hives today, I want to give you my honeybee disclaimer. I don't claim to be a master beekeeper. I don't claim to be anything special. I'm just a guy in his backyard working on his bees. So if you have any comments or any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments section. Don't leave condescending, hateful comments because I'll delete them because they're dumb and they're not helpful. You could ask 100 different beekeepers 100 different things and they'll answer you 100 different ways. So if you have any tips, please leave them in the comments. All right. Now, I'm not going to go into extreme detail on what I'm doing in here. I will talk to you while I'm doing it, but I'm just going to set the camera back a little ways. And if there's something really interesting, I'll bring it over to you and show you, but we'll just kind of bust this out because it's really, really hot and I want to get it done. Now, the biggest piece of advice I can give you when you're working honeybees is to get yourself organized. Get everything ready that you're going to need before you come down to your honeybees or before you go out to your honeybees. Have all your stuff ready. That way, any contingency comes up, you'll be able to handle it. Instead of running in and out of the house or running in and out of the garage, try and plan for every contingency that you might have when you get into your honeybees. Some things that you might have to contend with is the hive settling and being uneven. You may have to add supers, you may have to take away supers, so have materials ready to handle this stuff. Have your smoker, have everything ready to rock and roll, and when you go into your bees, you can knock it out and do a good job. So we've got all our tools, we've got all our supers, we've got all our frames, we've got everything down here backed up to the beehive, and when we get ready to work on them, we'll be able to fire things off hopefully and not screw things up and be running back and forth to the house because that's just the biggest pain in the butt. So get yourself organized if you're gonna work your bees. Now the first thing that I do is I'm gonna get my smoker ready. Now inside your smoker, there's this little shelf, okay? So you make sure that that shelf is setting up right properly inside your smoker, and get your hive tool and have it ready. And what I use for a smoker material is just burlap, a burlap sack, okay? And it works just great. Easy to start, easy to lighten, easy to keep it lit. So we'll get this lit up and get rocking. Inevitably, if your bee gloves fit right, they are a struggle to get on. Now, when it comes time to get them off, they won't be such a struggle because they'll be soaking wet with sweat, most likely, but it's kind of like washing a pair of tennis shoes. They always kind of shrink up a little bit, but they'll work their way in. They need to be nice and tight, almost like your own fingers. So we're gonna get into this hive first because I know exactly what I wanna do. I just wanna add supers. I may add one, I may add two. Pop the top, see how we're doing. Pop this guy off. Hopefully we don't encounter a bunch of pissy bees. Gonna slip a frame out just to see what we've got going. I think it's probably gonna be full of honey with a touch of brood. So the brood is what you see in the center and the honey is what you see on the top corners right here. So we're looking good. And this is the very center frame on one of the hives. And I've got a queen cell right there too. That's what that big guy is. That's a queen cell. So this is an 8-frame super of already drawn comb. We'll put that guy on there. We're gonna go ahead and close it up, let him get to work, give him some room. Awesome. Yeah, these guys are looking good. Looks like we'll only get honey from one hive. Oh, she's a heavy one though, I'll tell you that. When I lived in town, I had honeybees. We had 14 stands of honeybees on a third of an acre in town. I called them my Mountain Dew bees because they never ever died because there was always a dumpster full of Mountain Dew somewhere for those guys to get into. It's about 60 pounds of honey right there, baby. Let's see if we can do this without making the entire world mad at us. Some good dark honey. Looks delicious. Folks, I'm just gonna get busy with these bees. We'll keep the camera rolling. Then when we get done, we'll kind of go through and tell you exactly what we've done. Okay, so we've got something super duper cool and interesting right here. And I'm gonna show you. It's a queen bee and it's trapped on top of the hive. I think she's still there. Yeah, she's still there. So this hive had a queen failure and they hatched a new queen, but she couldn't figure out how to get back in the hive. I'll show you. So all these bees are bunched up on the top of this hive, and right there is the queen. So she's given off her pheromone and ready to lay eggs. She's plump, she's fat, she looks awesome. And all these bees are up here on the top just waiting for her to get back in there. And they're feeding her and they're taking care of her. But she just doesn't know what to do. So we're gonna see if we can help her out and get her back in the hive here. We're gonna crack the lid and hopefully she'll go right on in. Either that or we might have to capture her and put her in the front of the hive. She needs to get in there and start laying eggs, I know that. Look at that queen, let's just watch her for a minute. Beautiful bee. If you've never seen a queen bee, this is something really, really awesome to watch. See how much bigger her abdomen is? Got to get her in there. Got to figure out a way. So this plays into what I was saying, just being prepared for any contingency. I've got a pair of pliers and I'm just going to sacrifice screen top board right here just to get this queen in. See if I can figure a way to open it up a little bit where she can get in there. I wish I could just pick her up. I'm scared to pick her up. but I feel like I need to. I think I'm gonna try and cut my way through here. Give her an option without making everybody mad. Give her an option to get in there. We'll open this. I'm gonna twist my knife right here and open it big enough. Get that queen through there. And we'll try and drive her. Woo, she didn't like that. See if she can figure out where that hole is. Come on, little girl. Come on, little girl. Get in there. Find your little house. Let's get my hive tool. Let's see if we can herd this queen down into that hole. It's getting closer. There it is. Oh, go in there, baby. Go in there. Woohoo! Hot dog. We got her in there. Dude, that was so interesting. Did you see her go right in that little hole right there? That was awesome. Did you guys see how awesome that was? We herded a queen into that little hole. She went shoop right down in there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'll tell you what we did with our hives here. We added a super over here, and that was our first swarm of the year. This is our biggest beehive, the second beehive, and we pulled 2 supers of honey off of it and replaced it with 2 supers of drawn comb. This one here was a swarm, and we added another super to it. It's doing well, and we just introduced that queen to her hive so she can get in there and start laying and make this hive successful too. I'm inclined to wait until probably this weekend to get in there and make sure she's settling in, check for eggs, and should be awesome. So stay tuned for the next video on the bees, probably sometime next week if I can get it done. Thanks a lot, guys. Please pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell down there and notifies you when I post a new video. We'll see you next time on Stoney Ridge Farm. All right. Woo!
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo!
I also have one of these little torches, and I'll go ahead and light up. Turn that off so I don't roast my face. And I'll take my hive tool and I'll just kind of tuck it down in there. Get it smoking, get it puffing. Don't go out and work your bees right after you take a bath or a shower. They don't want you to smell good. You do a little bit of sweating so you don't smell like J.C. Penney's when you go out there and work your bees. Stupid string won't go in. There we go. I wish the wind would just pick up and just blow really, really hard right now.